It's the Pulse. You don't want to miss out on this edition because we've got a lot of stuff coming on the show. And yesterday, there was a clash between supporters of the two main political parties, the NPP and NDC, at the memorial rites to mark the 1 week passing of their late mother of Asantehene into a political rally. Supporters of both parties went into frenzy chanting the respective campaign slogan of both candidates. Immediately, the two arrived at the mourning grounds to sympathize with Otumfuo. Now, the otherwise beautiful display of Ashanti culture was also marred, but for the timely intervention of the security personnel at post.
Fetish priests representing shrines across the Ashanti attracted crowds to one side of the palace, dancing, chanting, and displaying their spiritual prowess. A procession of chiefs from the various paramountcies, clad in kuntunkuni, traditional thick black cloth for funerals, marching under their sprawling umbrellas, heralded the entry of the Asantehene Otumfuo Osetutu to the grounds. Sitting in his palanquin, he danced majestically, occasionally waving to the milling crowd. Soon as Otumfuo has taken his seat, shouts of "Yesism, change is coming" filled the air as the crowd started moving towards flag bearer of the NPP, Nana Akufo-Addo, who was entering the grounds. A counter JM Twaso also filled the air as President Mahama entered few minutes later. The grounds became a replica of a political rally for about an hour. Some chiefs expressed their unhappiness with the turn of events.
Funerals, occasions such as this should not be mingled with politics because politics is divisive. The entire society is divided according to the political lineage of individuals. And Ashanti in particular, this is a very prominent feature of our life. So it seems to me that we should not go that.
A date for the funeral will be announced later, according to Otumfuo's linguist. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Love FM, Kumasi.
Okay, so let's go back to journalists and some issues surrounding them. Some of them have sued the Electoral Commission. They don't understand why they should pay for media accreditation for their coverage of the 2016 presidential and parliamentary elections. Though the Commission is yet to determine the fee, a statement signed by its head of communications, Eric Jakbasu, says accreditation tax will be given to only those who have formally applied for it and for a fee to be determined by the Commission. Well, one of the journalists joins me in the studio. Clement Akolo is a member of the journalist group, International Standards Journalists Association, who have sued the EC over the accreditation fees. Hello, Clement.
Hello.
Certainly, this is new, totally new in our history. I've never seen EC charging journalists to pay for accreditation to cover elections. Is very new to us. So what do you seek to achieve with this?
Yes, actually, like you're saying, because you've been practicing journalism in this country for a while now, and you know that it is new. It is not something that is done, I mean, normally. So for the Electoral Commission to come out to say that journalists who will cover the elections should pay some amount of money or should part with some amount of money, it was a bit absurd to us, because if we journalists are trying to help the nation, because we are sort of the eyes, the ears, and the mouthpiece of the general public, where the general public cannot go to, that's where we go to, and then we make sure that we bring all those things to them so they will see it. So in other words, we are providing some kind of service to the nation and helping the Electoral Commission itself to actually provide free and fair elections. Because the only way the Ghanaian populace will know that, or the international community will know that the Electoral Commission is providing free and fair elections, is when the journalists actually go out there and bring out the reports as they are. So if you seek to take money from us, then I think that you are actually worrying this nation, not the journalists alone, but the
general public.
Yeah, the general public.
You may have a genuine concern. So to what extent, or where are you at with this action, the litigation?
Yeah, the hearing was supposed to be on the 24th of November.
Right.
It was adjourned actually for the 29th of November. That's the next Tuesday, for some administrative errors. So on Tuesday, this particular issue will be heard at the court.
But the EC has explained, I've heard Eric Japaso explain that it's not charging the journalists as such, but these are monies that will support them to get things in place, because in their budget they didn't make provisions, or their budget does not support some of these things, and so they cannot add that to their cost. And so this is not a fee per se, but it's just something to support the EC to do the right thing.
If that's the case, that would be a bit unfortunate, because it would then appear that the Electoral Commission did not prepare adequately for the journalists. The Electoral Commission did not prepare adequately for the journalists, as if the work of the journalists is a second thought, as if it's not important, as if it is not needed. Because if you budgeted for all kinds of things, including training of those who observe the elections and those who look at the ballot papers and all those things, and you budgeted for it, you thought about it and budgeted for all those things, and you didn't bother to budget for accreditation. I mean, a piece of paper where it is laminated with our names on it to identify journalists and say that, oh, these are journalists who are covering the elections on our behalf. Then it's actually a sad story to tell.
But we have just 11 days to elections, and the matter has not even been heard for the first time. How hopeful are you that this issue will be trashed out before elections, so that you don't get to pay to get accreditation?
Yes, even if we pay and the issue is heard, all those monies that have been paid, the EC will have to refund it.
The money stream.
Yes, we believe that in the wisdom of the judiciary or the courts, they are going to do that. But to the first question, the thing is this: if we have 11 days to go for the elections, just about some few weeks ago, the Electoral Commission had an issue with some of the political parties, where some were disqualified, they went to court and all those things. In the wisdom of the judiciary, they made sure that the processes were expedited, right, so that the issue will be heard, so that quickly the elections will come on. So we also believe that in the wisdom of the judiciary, they will also look at this issue and say that this issue is something that may border on the coverage of the elections, because if a lot of the journalists are affected and they can't pay that amount of money, then it means that the corners of the election coverage is not going to be covered, because right, a lot of people are going to be hampered by the 10 cedi fee that is being charged. And when you look at it, when you are not, or if you are not a member of the GJA, you pay 20 Ghana cedis. So it's not just 10 cedis. So it means that part of the elections are not going to be covered.
Go uncovered.
Yes. So we believe that the judiciary is going to actually look at this issue and make sure that it pronounces on it very quickly.
Well, we wish you all the best, Akolo, for this at the court. I mean, if it's the Supreme Court, or
next Tuesday.
If it decides that we shouldn't pay, I mean, it goes all well for all of us. Yes. So we wish you all the best. Thanks for having through on the polls. Now, political parties want electoral justice and education increase ahead of this year's elections. Commission. This, according to them, will mitigate violence and disturbances that characterize elections. Now, the political parties expressed these sentiments at a training workshop on electoral adjudication processes for key political party leaders in Kumasi.
The forum aims to equip political parties with skills and expertise to deal with electoral disputes. Electoral illiteracy has been identified as one of the key factors in the management of electoral disputes.
So if our country can do well in these electoral exercises, the regulations governing this particular exercise will have to go down to well to the people. And if this is done, we all understand this process as a peaceful one. We all understand this process to be something that is so simple. If you are not able to do that, it's only going to result some chaos with the misunderstanding of simple regulations.
Because people don't understand, there are rules, there are punishment for certain things. That's why we have all these chaos around elections. Elections are supposed to be a festival time, a time to enjoy, not a time to be afraid, not a time for businesses to collapse, not a time for us to be prison in our own country.
The forum is a collaboration between Legal Resource Center, Ladder Institute, and Star Ghana. Anes Mokhtar Mohamedin is a facilitator.
Going forward, I suggest that we should not just start with educations just when elections are imminent. It must be a going issue, so that if we could actually even tailor one of our courses in our elementary schools to actually, encapsulate what we call the civic education. I'm told some time ago it was taught in our schools. Yeah, but these days we don't see them in our schools. So that if we could actually start teaching that as part of our educational, process in growing up, by the time you are aged, if you've been hearing the same issue from your youth late till when you are mature, I guess you have a better understanding to it. So maybe we should think of introducing it as a course, as a syllabus in our body education.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
So election activities are warming up as we hit 11 days to 2016 elections. Truster's election headquarters on the polls.